So hello everybody, my name's Amelia and welcome to another video in a car. Again, not my car, this is actually my parents' car because of a whole car accident that totaled my vehicle, and I'm sure you guys can find other videos where I'll probably be talking about that whole thing. We'll just say that's not fun. So, but anyways, tonight is actually the it's the eve of my SRS consult, tomorrow at 9:45 with Dr. Gray. Tomorrow I'm going to be sitting down and they're going to actually show me some pictures and show me some examples of what they can do, and it's going to come down to me deciding if I want to go forward. So something I just want to talk about real quick was, why am I getting the surgery? I've seen a lot of other trans women on YouTube talking about it. And one of the most common things that they say is that they're not getting the surgery because they don't feel like the surgery is up to par. And I understand what so there was one in particular I was watching, and she was like, well, I don't want to get it because it doesn't make sense for me to get it because I won't be able to menstruate. I won't be able to have a baby. And of course, I agree with what she said after that, which was, I can understand all the cis women out there are like, well, you don't want to menstruate. You don't want to actually have to deal with pregnancy. And just to kind of reiterate something else I read online that other trans women say is, yeah, true. I'm sure just because you got to go through it, it really sucks. But for someone like us, we don't feel, I don't want to use the word validated, but we feel the same as any other cis woman who wouldn't be able to menstruate or have a baby. It's one of those things that really adds to the icing on the cake to actually be able to have that mental comfort of who you are, to be cemented in that. So anyways, point is, she was talking about how she doesn't want the surgery because she doesn't feel like it's up to par to her standards. She would only wait until it actually, but the big thing that I see with a lot of these YouTube trans women is that they are young. They're in their 20s, 25, 26. Me, however, I'm 32, about to turn 33. I'm not going to wait until I'm 40, 50 years old to get the surgery and be like, oh yeah, by the time I can get it, then it's going to be perfect. It's usually kind of an end of life for me when it comes to any kind of reproductive ability, and you know, and also because I'm soon to be single and I'm gonna have to start dating and getting into the mindset of getting married and being able to fulfill a relationship with a husband. It's one of those things that I know I'm not going to be happy with if I can't offer a spouse that supporting role as a wife. It's going to really hurt me. It's going to make it really hard for me. And that is one of my biggest reasons I want to get the surgery, is just so I can, really two reasons. One is so I can be a sexual partner, and actually be able to fulfill my role in that relationship. And two is so that I can feel more comfortable about my body. Like, I used to have so there's that question of, do I have gender dysphoria, bottom dysphoria? And the answer is yes. And I mean, all these other YouTubers said the same thing. They have bottom dysphoria. However, the big difference is like, one of them, she said, oh, I rate about a 5. For me personally, my bottom dysphoria is like a 7 or an 8. Probably almost pushing a 9. I mean, I've heard of some trans women, like there was one I heard of, she had such bad bottom dysphoria that she literally would pee herself. She just couldn't bear to even just sit on the toilet to go to the bathroom. And that's something I tolerate right now. So I'd say my bottom dysphoria is not like really bad. But whenever I have to wear like skinny jeans or leggings and I look down and I see that it doesn't hug my groin just right, it makes me feel very inferior. It's a very aesthetic thing for me. Not to mention that I feel like I always have to constantly be aware of it. Walking in public with leggings or skinny jeans, always be kind of like, okay, pull the shirt down, or adjust this or do that. Because I'm always afraid of it's going to be a big clocking thing for me. Not even really clocking, but even just showing anything off makes me feel like it would put me in danger. I never liked my genitals. Even if I was to go back to being a man, I think it would still be something I would not want there. Just because it's never served me any purpose. It's enjoyable, kind of. But I've never actually dreamed of it and been fulfilled by it. Like, usually I get sensation and I get aroused, and then I fulfill and I go all the way through to an orgasm, and then afterwards you just kind of sit there and you're like, I feel gross. I feel disgusting. That was not fulfilling. That did not feel good. You know, that's usually how you feel as a just having one, and your mind is the way it is. But the point is that I can't wait for the surgery to be perfected. I would rather go after the surgery now and then deal with revisions later. So if, like, for example, uterus transplants do become a very common thing down the road, I just hope that maybe, you know, hey, I go after that and it's one of those little icings on the cake. Be like, well, you already have the vagina. We can kind of all tie it together. Even if I could have a baby and it could only be delivered through C-section. That is a reality. It is a potential reality. I'm not willing to wait. I mean, 3-4 years of waiting is really not going to do much for me. Because I also know myself. I know that if I decide tomorrow I'm not going forward with it, I'm going to wait a little bit, I'll get distracted by other things in life. It's kind of like that whole thing about, well, I'm into crafts, I'm into sewing, and it's like, well, you need to do that now. Because if you put it off now and you go and get in a relationship and you have kids, then it's going to be a hurdle in your life. Not to mention if your life is more complex, how hard it is. But for me, I mean, it's expensive. Yeah, I mean, money is another reason. I mean, even if I was to even get close to a good quality result, I would need to see, like, the best of the best in the country. But I'm just like, you know what? KU, it's nearby, easy recovery. I just need to get to that point I can get it done and be comfortable with it. It's really, I guess, the only nervous thing is coming out of it with a botched result. It needs to at least be a decent result. Like, I love to go swimming. And this year I've worn a skirted bikini and I love it. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel complete. But I still, like, while swimming, it flies up. Or actually, even worse, a better example is when I have changed. I absolutely hate looking down and seeing a bulge. It makes me depressed, like, absolutely upset, and just like, that is not right. Like, I can remember the last time I had a very major dysphoric moment about it. The only thing I could do was lay there and be like, yeah, this is not right. This is not supposed to be there. It is not supposed to be there, and it's not. So anyways. Sorry, I have a coworker staring at me. Should I break? Anyways. I just want to... I think it's about time I end this here because I'm going back from lunch. I'm at my job. And we'll probably end up calling it here. Anyways, so I hope everybody's enjoying my videos so far. And by the time you probably watch this, I'll probably be having my consult. Or possibly be way in the future. Be a completely different person. Who knows what future me is saying about myself. So anyways, hey, I managed to keep this under 10 minutes. So anyways, I will catch everybody in another video, and I'm sure I'm going to have a video coming up very, very soon. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.